Hello, welcome to our program. I'm Carl Rico, and you're watching Science on the Edge. Our program probes the boundaries of science and will extend your knowledge in exciting areas of science and technology. We're here at the Centenary, inside the Centenary College Library, and we're in search of Tilly the Ghost. And in that process, she's the alleged resident ghost here on campus. In that process, we already went to a place where she worked as a kitchen maid in a former kitchen, which is now the student lounge. And we examined that area, and we got some good results from that area. Now we're going to be examining this area in and around the library, because it's here where Tilly was dragged out of the kitchen, brought to, and murdered. So there should be some kind of, if there is any manifestation, some kind of sign, some kind of indication that she's around in this area. So let me introduce David Roundtree. He's a paranormal investigator. And what results did you get, Dave, over at the...
Well, we actually got some very interesting electromagnetic waveforms that was over there. Tracy, who's a psychic medium, actually picked up empathic contact with who we think might have been Tilly's, feathery realms remains.
Yes, yes.
And we got some very interesting sounds on our recorder, although we weren't able to identify any as a voice per se because of the background interference we were getting from other people moving through the building. But we did seem to get some very interesting data that was out of place.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, we got
an interesting instrument.
We got some interesting waveforms in the area that we could not explain, that were not manufactured or man-made in any way, and we really don't have any rational scientific explanation for those waveforms.
So they're there and they're recorded.
So we have them and we recorded those.
And we're doing the same thing over here and checking out various parts of the library.
We're doing the same thing over here. We're going to try to locate the actual murder location of Tilly Smith.
Oh, okay. Can you introduce the people that are here? For example, your associate?
This is Tracy Ray. Tracy Ray is a psychic medium. She's from Vidor, Texas.
Yep, living here now. I am a psychic medium empath. I just came out of the closet not too long ago, probably about 2 years ago. And David was the first person I told.
She's also a paranormal investigator, and she's a Bigfoot researcher as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Okay, and we also have a local author, Marianne McFadden, who's writing a book about Tilly, as a matter of fact, and is gathering information from whatever David manages to gather over here in the way of that information. And she's brought some friends of hers. Let's mention them as well.
This is Vicki Malanga. Hello. And this is Deborah Messina. And they are also fans of the Tilly story and read my manuscript and just give me some feedback on the story and what we're trying to put together.
Oh, good. Okay, so it should be an interesting story, a novel, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, great. Let's get started, and let's move through and use that instrument in terms of what? Electromagnetic field instrument?
We're going to be looking for very specific types of magnetic waveforms, electromagnetic waveforms that are not conducive to man-made energy signatures of any kind. So,
something that isn't artificial.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So we're going to start in the archive area, which is below ground, and see if we can locate an area that has any kind of unusual readings.
Do about 3 minutes.
Okay.
And also what Dave is doing back there, too. Now, where we are would be the archive of the library. The archive of the library. And Dave is going around with his electromagnetic field detector to find out if there's any kind of anomalies, any kind of different sort of wavelengths of that energy that can't be attributed to artificial sources. So if you look at Dave now, he's moving around here.
Yeah, we're not getting anything too unusual.
No, okay.
I did want to point something out. Here's an example of a man-made power source. And this is the kind of waveform we get, a nice clean looking 60 cycle or 60 hertz waveform. That's pretty typical of residential power. And most of the shows you see on TV where they're using a meter, this is exactly what they're measuring and getting a spike on and believing that they have a ghost, when in fact they're actually just measuring the power in the dwelling.
Okay.
So, I'm not getting anything unusual, which is pretty typical.
Well, so far, nothing unusual here.
Again,
So
regular resident power signature.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll go on. We'll move on to other areas and check the other areas out in the library. We have to go outside yet as well, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
So,
Okay.
you hear it stuff?
No, I heard a. Why are they turning back now? Like drums.
Really?
Yeah.
So was it drum sound that you picked up, huh?
It was a drum sound. Yeah. I normally don't walk around with that. I usually like to set it in one room. That way it's not, you don't
Shaking
hear me
around,
shaking.
yeah.
Exactly. Because it's contaminated, you're walking around
We'll
with
do
it.
the best we can under the circumstances.
Thank you.
All right. I think
All that haze and stuff. Dave, what are you finding?
My thing is going ballistic. Can y'all hear it?
Oh, listen to this.
Sounds like a Geiger counter.
Come over here. It sounds like a Geiger counter in our ear. Bring it up close to pick up the sound.
The back gates.
Okay. Now it could be some artificial placement of some electronic device. We don't know that in this area. Or it could be.
Because I'm getting kind of, I'm feeling a little.
Oh, you're
weird.
feeling? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
it right in here.
Okay.
Come over here, Tracy.
Wait, I can't right
Wait.
now.
Wait.
You can't?
What reading are you getting, Dave? Can you show it on the camera?
It's abnormal. It's nothing too definitive, but it's definitely a lower frequency.
I want to say that this is where she was pulled from.
Okay.
Am I correct? Is this the building that?
Yeah, all the way past. It's in that direction right there. Yeah.
That's where we
That's
were.
the building. The behind the smoke
Okay,
stack?
okay. I feel that she was pulled from the building over here, way over there. I feel that he was dragging her to, like he had a location to drag her, but didn't make it. He started out just straight, and then he made an angle this way.
Do you get the sense of a stable or a barn?
I knew I sensed a building. I can't say what it was. I have no idea what the building was. I felt that he was trying to take her somewhere, but never made it. He got tired and just couldn't keep up. So for him to do what he needed to do, he stopped and did what he did. And
He murdered her, in other words. Yeah.
yes. Before I go there, I want to walk this way real quick.
Okay.
Actually, I kind of want to walk that way just to kind of, I just want to see how I feel.
Okay. We're listening to Tracy, the paranormal medium, who is also an empath, and she said she's receiving some kind of information about Tilly and what happened to her. She was dragged from what was formerly the kitchen and now the student lounge over to here in the library area, where she was murdered by whomever.
This is the point where he started making his direction to another angle.
Or he changed direction here, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
here.
You okay?
I'm fine. Just, yeah.
Which direction?
That way.
Where I was before.
Yes.
Now let's go.
And she was trying to run that direction. But he stopped her.
So he stopped her right there while she's running in that direction, huh?
She got a little, just not very far. And then he pulled her down. And then went back this direction.
And Dave, are you getting any kind of
There's,
anomalous recordings on there in the meantime?
It's very low,
Yeah.
but there is something going on. As you can see, it's very low level,
Yeah.
but it is along this path and not on either side of it, which
Yeah,
is kind of
yeah.
interesting. It's almost like there's a signature we're following here.
Yeah.
We're starting to get...
Here.
Getting a lot of noise on that device.
It could be the, this could be just the wind.
I don't know.
This is where that this is when it all started. This is where it just totally, oh my God, he just hit her and she fell straight to the ground. She's asking him to stop. And he's telling her no. He's telling her no, I can't. He keeps telling her that he loves her and no one will have her. She rolls. And then that's where her head's facing that way. He grabs the belt or the sash that she had on. How far do you want me to take this?
Maybe 3 minutes or something like that.
No,
I
I
wanna
mean
hear all
like
of it.
dramatic.
You wanna
How
hear- you wanna hear
dramatic
more?
do you want to hear?
I want to hear it
You
all
wanna hear
because
more, yeah.
I'm writing this scene in my
Yeah.
book, and I know a lot of it, but I don't know all the details. If you can do it. I mean, if it's too painful.
Okay.
And I know, I've imagined it as her.
He rolled her back over. He told her a few words. He wanted her to know that he didn't want it to be over and that it's not going to be over and that they will be together regardless. She's screaming and yelling. He's trying to kiss her and she don't want him to. And he takes the sash, turns her over, and puts it around her neck. He's telling her that if she don't cooperate and give him what he wants, that he's gonna kill her. And she said that she won't. She'd rather be dead. Those words angered him. She had a long dress, boots, and he pulled tighter and tighter around her neck while hitting her in the head. I see blood coming out of her ears. I see blood coming out of her nose because he's lifting her up. And he's telling her that he's gonna make love to her. And within 10 seconds after that, she dies. But he don't know it. So from behind, he rapes her. He anally rapes her. And then he asked her at the end if she enjoyed it. And when he didn't get a response, he was scared. He didn't know what to do. So he got up and ran that direction, where I feel he threw up. And he left her body laying there, face down. There was dirt in her mouth. No, I'm not. When we did the remote viewing, I did not, things that I felt, things that I sensed, seeing it just through pictures was totally different than actually being here and
Feeling it.
looking at it through her eyes and sensing, and feeling it through her. She just wanted to better herself, and that's what she kept trying to tell him, and he didn't want her to do that because he said that if you stay here, we won't be together. Like, he was very demanding, rude, he's coming through and he's laughing. At first he was scared. Like, what did I do? What did I just do? And then later he realized he got away with it. But the guilt got to him.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was.
Part of her clothing?
Her hat was partially off. It had fallen off behind her head. And she had a lace collar on that was undone. And it may have been the lace collar. I'm not sure. But her hand was like this. So
Stretch outward, huh?
yeah. But I'm remembering something else too, and I can't remember what it was.
Article of clothing
I
again?
want to.
There was a board.
A board.
Yes,
There
yes.
was
Okay.
a board.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it may have been, there's speculation, there was a fence here. The property, and she was on the other side of the college grounds. So she was actually outside the college grounds. And there was a piece of fence missing. And it was either underneath her or next to her.
The banging of the head. He hit her with something.
The board, possibly.
Very, very uncalled for. He thinks it was out of passion, out of love. He didn't, he's sick. He is sick.
A man found her and then ran. The mayor had a farm over that way, and he ran and got the mayor, and the mayor came over, and then the mayor actually came and went, and then that guy went and got the coroner. But by the time they got back, it was within a half hour.
But did a female sit with her?
No, but I did find out just very recently when I went through the transcript, because I didn't know this, that some of the girls from the school came over. Actually, one of the servants who worked with her, who saw her the night before, and I think was the last one to see her, and saw her and was very, very distraught.
Yeah. Okay. Like, it didn't have to be like this. And he said, yeah, it did.
Was insistent, huh?
Because she had went to the dance.
Oh, she went to
And-
the dance that night.
And he saw her with another man.
He actually
that-
confronted her on Church Street,
Right.
and the man ran him off. was her boyfriend.
And it's amazing that the police never questioned him.
No.
Never questioned him. Today, that's the first person you go to is the boyfriend of her
Yeah.
husband.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the people were satisfied to a certain extent that the crime was committed by the janitor who had a place in the Say building, but he wasn't.
She
the murderer.
won't rest until this is all cleared.
Now, you mentioned the word Frank as a possible first name of the actual murderer.
That when we did a remote,
Yeah.
That was her boyfriend.
when I was in Texas,
Yeah.
he had called me on the phone, and I'd never done remote viewing ever in my life, and didn't even know what it was. And he just, asked me what I was feeling, and I just kind of told him what I was feeling and the names that came up and everything. And Frank was definitely one of the names.
And you mentioned his last name as being what? Her boyfriend, and his last name was
Frank Weeder.
Weeder.
Frank Weeder.
How is that spelled?
Weeder.
Weeder. Okay.
And he was known in town as like a ruffian.
I did
Oh.
tell David that, I knew that he had thrown up at it, because it made him sick after he realized that he had just murdered the woman that he loved. And I told David that I know, I sense he committed suicide
Oh.
about 2 months later.
That was never mentioned, was it? The idea that he committed suicide? Oh, that's
Not
interesting.
that I know of.
Yeah.
But
But it would be under a John Doe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be a John Doe.
Yeah.
I don't think he was at the trial or testified at the trial. I'm not done with the transcript. But I'm mostly done, and I have not.
Records need to be looked at
He disappeared.
to see if there was any suicides on within that time frame, within 2 months after her murder.
A hanging.
So again, we're speaking to Tracy, the paranormal medium, and also David Roundtree, who is the paranormal investigator, and also speaking to Marianne McFadden, who is a local author writing a novel about Tilly. And we're talking about what happened here, and she's feeling what happened through whatever presence Tilly has over here.
A wreck.
Is it?
It's not bad. You got.
Well, this is the end of this session. We just came in from the outside, and the medium Tracy looked over the area outside this library, came upon an area that seemed to be where Tilly was murdered, according to what the medium said, who also says she's an empath. So she felt whatever was happening there, gave a full explanation of what was happening there, and that's the end of our session. Now, we might have more in the future as we continue with this in terms of searching for Tilly on the campus of Centenary College. In the meantime, keep watching for our program, Science on the Edge. Until next time.